reaction already. Look at Black, he can't do much, no mana, the free hit is not there. Lian makes it away with a slash and dice combo, can start it off. Here
It's going to be Antares, the victim of a gank here, but gets the first blood with all the unleashed powers.
Trying to disrupt things in. Whoa, look at the damage!
Oh my lord, what was that? A triple kill! This is a quadra! Hello is very low!
Good afternoon and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2017 LOL Collegiate League Summer Term North Conference Finals. Of course, we just finished that third game earlier, and now we're moving on to the fourth game of this best of 5 series between UC and BULSU. Will be your shoutcasters for that match, for that game. I am Atlas. With me is Chisto. Now let's discuss what happened in that previous game.
I think that was just UC absolutely going nuts, just taking the game to BULSU because they really came out ahead and just snowballed off of the amazing jungle Ezreal play coming from Cry, and that really propelled them forward, and now momentum is in their court. They are at match point. If BULSU wants to win this championship, they need to win this upcoming game.
Definitely, and the momentum from that is going to be phenomenal. That was the third game, the midpoint of this best of 5, and they just set the stage for the rest of it. Of course, BULSU is going to be fighting back. Their bans here will still be against the poke comp that UC really likes, plus the tankiness of Sion. UC, the red side bans have been pretty consistent so far, with the Ornn and the Cho'Gath being taken away from the first priority pick of the blue side, and Kha'Zix as well. UC does not want to deal with.
Yeah, Ornn is a very, very high priority pick in the current meta, so any team on the red side has to ban that out, or else you give up so much pressure in the top lane because he's just so consistent, so useful. So right now, BULSU, they're hovering over the jungle Ezreal that gave UC so much success during the previous game, but UC have subbed out their jungler. It's not Cry playing. They have a new jungler in Vaughn, but BULSU gonna deny the Ezreal pick coming from UC.
Definitely one of their most important pieces of one of the pick comps that they put out today, and UC will be seeing how different the dynamic is with Vaughn in the fray. As for BULSU, they will be locking in quite a big utility lineup here with the Orianna, with the Morgana, with the Ezreal as well, while UC is going for a lot more balance. They have a very good engage and tankiness, as well as a lot of damage from long range and the assassination potential of the LeBlanc.
Yeah, so we see a substitution coming out from University of Cordilleras right here, and man, might that be the final nail in the coffin? We've seen competitive teams, especially in the LCK, successfully play around substitutes. Of course, SKT, very popular, knowing to switch around Peanut and Blank a lot. Of course, Peanut isn't there anymore, but my point is these substitutions could really be the key for teams to win matches, especially in a long series where the substitute has been able to watch what BULSU does a lot. So
it's really a mix of being a reset in terms of the fatigue. Like the main can rest up while the sub goes out to really play and give out the maximum amount of effort he can. Plus, being an observer of the previous games, the sub has the privilege of looking at the previous 3 games from a bird's eye view. So having that privilege allows them actually to give so much to the table. We'll see if it actually gives UC an advantage here, while BULSU locks away the engages and the utility that UC used so much, while UC bans out the Shen and the Jarvan. Very powerful picks here, but both of these teams have locked in quite potent compositions that will need a lot of care from these teams in terms of execution.
Yeah, as far as both drafts, I should say, it looks fairly even, except for the mid lane, because it tilts in the favor of the LeBlanc. If LeBlanc is able to win early game, the Orianna will have an extremely hard time.
Of course, we'll be seeing how all that plays out here in the level 1 of BULSU Gosu versus UC Requiem Esports.
Japs is out of range. I think BULSU will catch up.
Oh, that might actually be dangerous. It is Taric level 1. Actually, Twisted Advance going in for the kill here. Actually, a lot of damage coming from the rest of the squad. BULSU gets first blood here once again against UC.
What a great Dark Binding. The AFK warning coming in for Bulacan State University. Just the max range on that. And they were able to have enough follow-up damage, and that cheeky invade trying to get vision.
Was pretty great coming from BULSU. However, this does worryingly put yours on a position behind JP in terms of summoner spells. Ignite and Flash down means that JP will have a lot more kill potential in that mid lane compared to yours.
Yeah, but since the LeBlanc opted to take teleport, that's one less threat from his side to try and kill Jors. And I think Jors, knowing that he's a Orianna without any summoners versus a LeBlanc, he'll play a bit more passively for the next 3 to 5 minutes.
He will have to. He does not want to get taken down by the LeBlanc and give them the kills he needs to really...
Oh, the level
Ralph going for that really big cheese here. Sharp Cheddar gets another kill onto BULSU as JP, when he doesn't have the distortion yet, gets ganked, and that could set up Jors for the rest of this lane. Wow.
What a smart move by Bulacan State University, and that will relieve a lot of the pressure off of Jors, because the Orianna not having any summoners, the gank immediately relieves that pressure in Ice.
And it's going to be Kissy being ganked here. He is not level 2. Crystal Advance could give a lot of opportunities of damage here. Ice is dealing so much damage. However, it is not enough, and Chris has to flash out of there.
Yeah, both top laners trading their summoner spells in that flash. And with that being said, Ice will just be looking at this top lane again, because not having flash just puts a huge target on your back.
That could go for a repeat gank depending on where these junglers path, but it seems like Vaughn will actually try and focus this bot side of the map. It's going to be very tricky, but there is a lot of room for mistake for BULSU that they can take advantage of.
Yeah, I mean, for BULSU, we've seen them get these early game leads, but not translate them that well into the mid game. Let's hope for this game they've adjusted properly and are able to take this very early lead they have and transition that into a comeback in the series.
Vaughn might go for a cheeky play all by himself, as well as Vaughn tries to go for something here. He doesn't have anything to pull him with the stretching strikes, unfortunately, but this does give control of the mid lane onto JP.
Yeah, not enough range there, not enough levels yet on that elastic slingshot. If that was ranked up a bit higher, I think they would have been able to chain CC and pick up a kill onto the summonerless Orianna, but still not well played by Jors, respecting the kill potential still coming from LeBlanc.
And that survivability and the care and cautiousness might actually be the key to him surviving this onslaught against the LeBlanc. Of course, that cheeky gank earlier really helped him out. 2 assists in total. And looks like Ice, however, might be looking for another gank onto Kissy here. He does have the Dark Harvest stack, but already dealing a lot of damage. Hops over, but that damage from the Dark Harvest is too much for him.
Yeah, and we saw this during the previous game, the jungle Ezreal popping off and really carrying early game, and the tables have turned. Now BULSU have the jungle air jump. Oh,
I think it's going to be Vaughn. I don't think Ice will be here to save him. However, here comes the teleport coming from Chris. However, it is too late as he gets taken down. Ralph will try to go for something here in the spot side as the jungler is in mid lane. However, it's just a little bit of poke coming out.
Yeah, usually they're beginning to fight back here. They're trying to take the fight to BULSU.
Yes, might actually fall here. So much damage coming from the hyper procs of Kissy.
Yeah, and you see immediately fighting back. They don't want to let this game get out of hand. And with that massive minion wave being pushed into the tower and Chris not having teleport, that will get denied.
That could be a little bit of danger for Franz here. The Black Shield actually helps out against the Radiant Stun. And this is also a little bit of trade-off here in this bot lane. But look at that, MP still aggressive, but Vaughn is right around the corner. They will have to be very, very careful. They don't know that he is there. He's charging up his elastic slingshot over the wall, actually knocks up Ralph, but Ice is also right around the corner. MP actually almost gets taken down, but Ice is still dealing a lot of damage, and now is going to be his support now under duress. Oh, barely missing that. Actually, that was missed by a mile.
Barely?
But that's a lot of poke coming from BULSU, and that pushes them out of the lane.
Yeah, that could have nearly been a disaster for UC, and Ice right at the perfect moment comes in for the counter gank. He's able to save his teammates, and looking at the pace of this early game, both teams really not hesitating to go for these fights.
Definitely, and they really want to pull the trigger and have that momentum before the opposing team can take it. And here BULSU had the opening momentum. They want to keep it going. Oh, that is quite dangerous, but Ice goes in, flashes for it. He is quite low. However, the Cell Division will be procced, and I think here
there's no teleport.
Just absolutely dies. There's no teleport to save him, and another kill goes onto this jungle Ezreal.
That is big for BULSU. If they needed momentum, that right there will give them momentum. The jungle Ezreal is absolutely popping off. This is such a strong pick for both junglers, really, and Man, 100% kill participation as well. This is deja vu.
But on a different side of the teams. And it's actually quite impressive how Ice, seemingly observing how UC uses Jungle Ezreal, is now using it against them to such great effect. And it seems like here, JP will try to fight against the opposing mid laner here. However, there's a lot of damage and healing come from yours.
Yeah, it's very difficult for LeBlanc without Ignite to trade. Versus Orianna that does have it. LeBlanc does have teleport, but in lane, it really doesn't help you that much as far as kill pressure goes.
And there's so much sustain as well with yours. Picking up those potions with a Dark Seal allows for a lot more sustain, which is more effective on the Orianna than on the LeBlanc because of the potential. Here, Ice might go for something cheeky. He knows that
yes, red buff.
Japs is around the corner. Japs is being slowed down hard, and all that damage from the rest of the bot lane of BULSU will actually take him down, gives the kill over to Tavares.
BULSU is picking up so many early kills, and this is what they need to do if they want to come back. They need to constantly look for these picks, go for the Chain of Corruption, go for these Dark Bindings, and they are finding them. It looks like they aren't even flustered, even though that initial game, that third game I should say, looked very one-sided for UC. Even at match point, BULSU, they aren't backing down.
Man, the tables have turned indeed, and now BULSU is not only getting kills to get their laners ahead, they're also getting these objectives. Infernal Drake will be crucial, and Chris gets a solo kill against Kissy. Man, that is going to help a little bit against the death he sustained earlier. And now this actually top lane is pretty much done for both BULSU and UC. They just need to focus on the other lanes like this bottom lane as Ice might actually fall down. Gets taken down indeed, and Rob has to run away, but here comes Orianna. That's going to be George taking him down together with
Everyone's
Rob.
here.
Everyone's actually here. And actually Chris with a teleport helps take down that LeBlanc. And now is going to be the rocket jump away for Franz under duress here. It seems like this is just going to be everyone chilling after that. In the end, it's still UC in the lead in that fight.
Yeah, but still in the top lane, how often do you see a Maokai solo kill a Gnar? That is big in this matchup, and in this early game pre-10 minutes, everything just seems to be going in BULSU's favor.
Even with that little hiccup there in the bot side, that's still a lot of potent leads for BULSU, and here they even give Jors the mid lane priority for a few seconds.
Yeah, BULSU, they want to force that game 5. They really want to win that championship. And right now, they're working very well towards it. UC, you need to respond now.
And it seems like BULSU is not stopping. They're not getting any breaks here as UC might be in trouble in the next few minutes. BULSU seems to be setting up something here in the top side to break the stalemate on this top side right now.
Yeah, UC, they need to begin preventing these picks from happening. I think we're going to see one very, very soon.
Like Hobbs over. I think Kissy knows what's up. He knows that Ice will want to gank him and rightfully runs away.
But going back to my previous point where I said UC, they need to avoid these picks from happening. They have the stronger team fight comp. I mean, Atlas, there's going to come a point in this game where you cannot team fight versus a Zac, Gnar, and Taric. That's a very, very oppressive front line, especially if you're running BULSU's comp. But right now, BULSU, they're getting so many early kills, it's just allowing them to dictate how this game is going.
Yeah, they are just really matching the tempo that UC can have, actually leading them over to where they want. And UC, as you said, very potent team fight composition with the scaling on that Tristana, and the assassination potential of JP is going to be very difficult. But here, Ice is not giving up on his top side. They know that his rage is on the lower end of the bar, and they will want to dive him very, very hard. Lots of damage. Two-shot barrage still hits, even with a flash, and I think Kissy
Mystic Shot
might have to run away. Ooh. Mystic Shot actually takes it out, and Jors around the corner just for a little bit of safety, and Vaughn might be in trouble here. Not over the wall with an elastic slingshot. Takes Ice out, and looks like BULSU might be the one in trouble here. It seems like
what a
no, the
turnaround.
Shockwave doesn't actually proc there, and tries to go for the turnaround, but still is just going
my
two
God,
for
Maokai.
two. However, JP might actually get the kill there.
Yeah, no hesitation coming from both teams. They are very, very aggressive, and great presence of mind coming from University of the Cordilleras. They're knowing they can take the fight even though it was a 3v2. Very, very smart play coming from them.
And I think it was because of the communication there. Kissy knew that Ice wanted to do something topside, so he calls for the help of the rest of his team as soon as he sees them coming there, and they get the win on that skirmish right there.
Yeah, but this game is still at the moment very, very messy. But like I mentioned, there's gonna be a point in this game where it's gonna be near impossible to team fight versus UC's comp. They just need to reach that stage. But looking at the replay of this initial gank, great snipe by Ice, but even though this is a 3v2, the members of BULSU are fairly low, and there's enough burst damage on this LeBlanc to take him down.
That's when the fight goes into UC's favor completely. He leaves himself open for the stretching strikes, and they get knocked together into the wall. That gives so much free time for JP to go in and then deal his damage.
Yeah, very well played by UC.
So far, though, this game is still in BULSU's favor. Very small lead, but it seems like while that was happening, they got 2 kills as they dove the bot lane of UC. And this could potentially give them the first turret of the game.
This game is so fast-paced, Alice. I mean, it's hard for us to keep up, really, because all of these picks are happening, and BULSU are picking up all of them.
It seems like now BULSU, like earlier, as I said, they're getting all of these kills, but not only that, the objective game is what's happening here. They got the Infernal Drake earlier after a kill, and now they took the first turret of the game. Such a huge gold boost that will be important for MP and the rest of the BULSU squad.
Yeah, and this is what BULSU has to do if they want to come back. They need to work to their team comp strengths. They have that single target CC. If a Dark Binding lands, you're practically AFK, and you can just chain all of that damage constantly. And BULSU, they're doing a good job of executing towards their win condition.
Just being able to get those dives, those picks, will actually help them propel forward into just finishing this game earlier before UC can scale up.
BULSU, they're definitely playing against a clock here because, like we mentioned, UC, they have a very strong team fighting comp, whereas BULSU, they're made more for these little skirmishes, and right now...
Oh man, I felt that Ralph gets taken down. Look at all that burst onto Ice, but he is fighting back hard as a teleport comes in from Chris, but he gets ganged up on by the rest of UC. Teleport actually goes through, and I think he's in a little bit of trouble here. Alone has to flash away, trying to go for a kill onto Japs, but unfortunately is not enough.
What a great combo there, chaining the distortion with the Taric stun to reposition. That was such a smooth combo from UC. Great teamwork.
Being able to do that means that they have control over this Drake right now. However, you have to note that now Jors is in control of this mid lane turret, and potentially MP could take that top turret as well if Kissy isn't careful.
Yeah, the pace of this game is very, very fast right now. Both teams just taking objectives left and right, trying to take as many skirmishes as they can, and none of them are backing down from each other. They aren't hesitating to go for more of these fights.
This is really where the climax of the entire series is. Around the 4th and 5th game, this will be the most intense parts of the match, as both of these teams want to outpace each other and want to go ahead and just leave the other biting the dust. And here, it's really manifesting in how both of these teams reacting so quickly to each other's moves. And it's actually so intense right now, and I'm waiting to see where the next turning point of this match can be. BULSU is still ahead, but UC has so much potential to turn this game around.
Yeah, and of course, if you haven't been able to keep up, this is the 4th game. This is match point for UC. If they want to end it now, they have to act. But
look at that aggressive move coming from Jors as JP tries to go on him. It does prevent the turret destruction for a second. However, it still gets taken down inevitably. Jor is really aggressive with that, pushes JP away with a shockwave.
Yeah, BULSU, they're beginning to open up the map here, but
be bad for Franz. Does not want to go in. However, here comes the elastic slingshot. Gets kidnapped into the turret, vulnerable as well. And I think this is going to be MP going down. Ice can do nothing except watch. And look at that, Chris. 1v2, loss of sustain, loss of tankiness, however, not enough to fight back against UC. And BULSU once again falters. It seems like this could be almost an ace.
That is
4 members going down.
For nothing in favor of UC.
Oh man.
They're turning up the tempo, and we've seen UC do this a lot. There's going to come a stage in the game where it's going to be very oppressive to fight versus their comp, and they're showing if UC are grouped up. BULSU is going to have an extremely hard time. JP's very aggressive.
He doesn't have the shockwave to actually knock him away, and JP is still at full health. He has to retreat, and here BULSU needs to think of ways to fight against that team, really hard team fighting composition. They have lots of poke, but UC can just dive on them so much. They have 4 members that can jump into range, and they have the Taric Radiance to really help them out. So that's just complete destruction if UC can get into range, but BULSU really needs to be careful.
Yeah, I mean, both teams really need to be very careful, because if UC miss position just like this right now, They might give up another pick, but
Oh, misses the
just
shockwave.
time.
Elastic Slingshot saves his life right there. And without any delay, goes back to farming his jungle. Really efficient timing with these two junglers so far.
Yeah, definitely. I have to agree with that. But looking at how fast-paced this is going, it favors the skirmishing comp. It favors BULSU a lot. If these fights keep happening, if these 1v1, 2v2s keep constantly happening across the map, BULSU should run away with it because UC's comp relies on them being grouped up.
And they could divide and conquer here. BULSU has a very solid composition to just pick them off once they're out of position. And here they really just have to look for these ways to catch UC off guard and blindside them with a really good Dark Binding or a Twisted Advance into the rest of the team piling onto them.
Yeah, as we transition into this mid-game, the Infernal Drake is the next biggest objective up, so I wouldn't be surprised if BULSU begins setting up vision towards that area.
Man,
Try and look for
could be
picks.
in trouble.
Here comes
he
one.
is rooted down. He cannot distortion away, but now he's just fighting back against Ice. Shuts him down. However, JP also dies in the midst of that.
I think that was the best case scenario for JP. A 1-for-1 trade in a 2v1 situation. He's definitely going to be happy for that, but with the LeBlanc being down, no assassination threats coming from UC, BULSU can play a bit more aggressive.
Oh man,
Whoa!
George just gets taken down by all that CC that they have, and he will just blow up with a last-ditch effort to take him down with a shockwave. However, this is a signal for UC to summon the Rift Herald and get them this mid lane turret.
UC, they want to end the match right here and right now. They're working towards it. They're playing very, very proactively, constantly trying to look for these fights, and they're the ones getting the picks. It isn't BULSU. The tables might have turned here, Atlas.
It seems like BULSU might have faltered right there because that was 2 members sent bot side. They lose a little bit of momentum in defending this mid lane, and because Jors was very vulnerable there, only the flash to escape, and by then he was already dead because of all of the CC that UC can pull out. They have to be absolutely careful in the way that they rotate, the vision that they put down, so that UC cannot just do what BULSU needs to do. It seems like UC there beat BULSU at their own game, where they need to get those picks off as a group.
Yeah, and as we've seen the game progressing this quickly, as a player, right there, it can sort of catch up to you where you can't keep up with everything happening across the map. It can be very hard for them. I wonder who will crumble first under this pressure.
There's so much pressure on them, but it seems like BULSU is unfazed. They still know that their objectives are these turrets. They need to get that gold lead. They need to get the map control in their favor so they can dance around these objectives much, much better. It seems like top side will be their next focus as they send Chris to the bot side to split push.
Yeah, the gold is still hovering near each other, really. Not that big of a lead for BULSU. That's just the global gold coming from the turret leads. And now Infernal Drake will be spawning in the next 30 seconds. Both teams will be very, very happy to go for that objective. I wonder, might BULSU make a move to trade the Infernal Drake for the Baron?
That is quite possible, but they have to note that Infernal Drake is one of the squishiest Drakes. So if UC takes them and BULSU misses a beat, they might have to deal with UC with the new Infernal. However, this could be the possible call.
They're going to go for it.
Very, very cheeky. It doesn't seem like BULSU knows. Look at that Kissy.
UC
just
right
at
here.
The top lane. The teleport coming in.
This is a
from
free
Chris.
Baron.
This should be the signal for them to know. However, they can't do anything but watch and take the Infernal Drake to trade for that. And BULSU, with a very cheeky, decisive play, is able to get the Baron, able to get the ability to pressure the rest of the lanes.
What a smart, decisive call coming from BULSU. Just sneaks the Baron from under UC's noses, and just like that, the lead has grown even more. And now with the Baron buff, they're going to be able to set up for these sieges, Baron-empowered minions. And the only real wave clear from UC is that Tristana. So if they're able to take down that Tristana, UC's going to have a very hard time defending.
They have so much poke. They have 280 carries, a solid front line, great wave clear. BULSU is poised to siege with utmost precision and power, so they have to make good use of this Baron buff, because UC can turn the tables around if BULSU isn't careful.
Yeah, BULSU, might that be the play that forces the game 5? I mean, a sneaky Baron. Now they're setting up for the siege. They're going to begin knocking down this mid lane tower fairly soon.
And they have so much wave clear, as I said. Ginsu's with the Runans means that MP has so much wave clear even without using his abilities. He can save those piercing arrows to poke. He can save his rain of arrows as well.
Have they caught Kissy?
He might actually be caught here. He will go into the less mobile Mega Form in a little bit. He survives with a little bit of HP, but then gets taken down by Ice, and this gives him a lot of room in this bot lane. But they know that the mid lane is outnumbered. I think Ralph has to run away. The resets coming from France are quite potent, and that ends with actually 2 members, the bot lane of BULSU getting taken down. But BULSU knows that they have to trade for something, and they take this bot lane. They might still go for it as the rest of UC is trying to recall, deciding what to do. It seems like France will be the one walking there. However, that will be the bot lane turret falling. Franz is really in a position to try and take those shots. However, it's way too dangerous. Japs.
BULSU, they have to get out.
Will try to go for the flank. Hex Flash, very cheeky, goes on to Chris, and it seems like Ice will want to run away. It seems like George and Chris will have to be left for dead, but slowed down by the boomerang. Ice can only do nothing but fight back, and actually does not take away France because of the Triumph. And that actually takes away all of the Baron buffs on BULSU's.
Yeah, right now, best case scenario for University of the Cordilleras. They gave up that sneaky Baron, but they were able to defend all of their inhibitors. For BULSU, they split up, and that really gave a window for UC to engage on their immobile members. And man, great play coming from UC, able to defend against the Baron push.
They realized that they needed to trade for something, but then they overreached. Let's see what happens in that fight in the bot side as they're running away.
Yeah, at this stage, BULSU don't have enough resources to disengage. This is a very messy situation for them. And 5 members strong, UC can just run them down.
And that was just straight numbers advantage. The Hex Flash was quite useful as well to really help out the support there to go for that mobility. However, now reset. It seems like BULSU still feeling it, still unfazed. Vaughn is in the middle of everyone right here. He is quite tanky. Ice has to run away from him. He is dangerously low, especially after that explosive shot. Seems like JP still wants to go for it. Invulnerable cannot fight back against that LeBlanc.
Yeah, okay, with Ice down, that might signal UC to go for more kills here. I wonder how will BULSU disengage from this. This is very messy.
He doesn't have anything to run away. He does have his turret, but that's 4 members wailing on him. He is tanky. He has the sustain and a little magic damage shield. However, it's not enough. And UC
buying time.
Still goes for it, but that was buying time for BULSU to push this mid lane. They could go for another mid lane turret. This could possibly be a huge boost in BULSU's wealth as well as control over the map. They're trying to back, but seems like Ralph and the rest of the squad are trying to cancel the teleport. Franz is back. JP is around the corner, and this is a signal for these 2 squishies to back off because they do not want to assassinate. But he gets rooted! He gets rooted. That ultimate. Is Red Buff going to take him down? It does, even with the potion ticking, and MP gets a kill.
Over-aggression cost JP of the Chain of Corruption. Locked him down long enough in order for BULSU to take more damage.
That is going to be fast. Trying to take him down. The redemption pushes him away. Means it signaled he cannot win that fight. Has to Buster Shot him away to his safety.
UC, you need to calm down, my friends. You can't keep hopping in. That's very dangerous, especially if you don't have the rest of your team. And BULSU, they're just out-rotating UC at the moment. The calls coming from, they were able to take down 2 inhibitor turrets already, and it just makes it harder for UC to defend.
Yeah, that is what I was talking about in the previous games. If UC gets over-aggressive and charges in without enough information, without enough members, they will falter. And BULSU right there takes advantage of that, gets a kill on JP right there, and they can use this momentum to move forward. Yeah, they still have the gold lead.
I really like the guerrilla warfare coming from BULSU here. Just trying to draw away the members of UC from their base and then just constantly take down these buildings. And
seems like that will be guerrilla warfare indeed as they smash onto these turrets. But oh man, MP rather, lingers too long around the Cloud Drake and actually gives a kill once again to UC. Now momentum is in their favor, and that is such bad timing for MP to die, because as soon as he dies,
very bad timing.
Yeah, as soon as he revives, that will be the Baron spawning in his pit.
Yeah, that Baron will be the turning point of this game. I mean, both teams, the Baron dance, very critical. Both teams need to declare vision around that area, take that territory for themselves, because whoever controls the Baron in this game will win this match. And for UC, match point again. This is very crucial for them. They have I mean, if they want to end the series here, they have to win. As for BULSU, they want to force that game 5.
They really want to force it, and they're being very dangerous, like a cornered animal here. They're setting up their territory in this top side of the jungle so they can dance around the Baron more and more effectively. But it seems like right now, a little bit of chill time for both of these teams, but it's incredibly tense inside as they are just
It's
pondering.
the calm before the storm,
It's a calm before the storm indeed. And it is going to explode at one point or another as they move near the Baron.
Yeah, but what could the explosion be? It could be a huge Gnar, a huge elastic slingshot, or perhaps the shockwave coming from Joris. We'll just have to wait and see which team will bring the storm to the other first.
For now, it is going to be a fight over territory here, but it looks like Vaughn trying to go for something against Ralph. However, Black Shield well-timed against the Radiance.
Here comes the teleports.
Here comes the teleport from the top lane. Kissy, that's Shockwave.
Oh no,
actually
JP!
takes out JP! And they're all in a choke point where the rest of BULSU can deal their damage, and vulnerability is now over. However, Franz is dealing so much damage and jumping around. And it seems like Chris is alone on this side. 2 members down for BULSU. Only one for UC. Now, Chris will also go down.
That should be the Baron.
Shoot over. That should be the Baron for UC. And that was the Storm in the choke point.
What a massive team fight win for UC, and Franz is able to dance around that team fight, able to survive. And with that being said, how will BULSU respond to this? UC, they're still strong.
Oh man, they really want to take this Baron away from UC. Look at all the damage that Ice is bringing out. However, he is exhausted. He does not have enough resources to try and take that Baron. Splashes over the wall, but I think that just seals his fate into death as UC gets the Baron, gets the momentum once again in their hands. 2k gold lead means nothing at this point in the game.
Yeah, look at how this fight goes. Even though BULSU are able to lock down the LeBlanc long enough and take her down, Franz was able to deal enough damage because there was no more damages, and the Cosmic Radiance coming from the tower just buys so much more time, so much more tankiness for the members of UC to absolutely wreak havoc. Great flash at the end by Tristana to dodge out of the rest of the damage from the Orianna. Great play.
Yeah, Franz really dodged a lot of damage there. He positioned himself so he's shooting over the wall where Ice could not reach him without putting himself in danger. And once Joris was around the corner, he was able to use all of his mobility tools just right to dodge the important pieces of damage that Orianna could bring out. And now they have the Baron. This could mean the victory in this game and consequently in this match.
Yeah, UC, now that they have the Baron buff, they're definitely in a driver's seat to win this game. Now, BULSU, how will you defend?
Look at that damage coming from the explosive shot. Look at Vaughn trying to pressure them away from the turret, trying to kidnap people. However, he does not catch anyone from that Let's Bounce. But there will be UC still with the momentum, with the waves. They have to set up the other waves, however, to make best use of this Baron buff.
Yeah, the other waves are pushing in the favor of BULSU, so that will force UC back for the meantime. As for BULSU, they need to be very careful approaching these fights. Like we mentioned, UC's comp is very, very strong for team fighting. BULSU need to keep in track of the Narbar, the Taric ultimate. They need to position themselves properly in order to navigate these threats coming from UC.
It's definitely going to be a grueling task for BULSU. They are the ones who are pressured to win this because if they're not able to win, that means UC just takes away this North Conference Championship.
Yeah, BULSU, they definitely still want to force that Game 5. I don't see them backing down anytime soon.
This is one of the pivotal games of this match, and Ice, he really needs to put out the damage and get that position in, because earlier in that fight, it was because BULSU was split apart that UC was able to just dance around them, and that was really just straight up good team fighting from UC.
Yeah, but UC, they aren't grouping up just yet. They're still setting up their waves, and the Baron buff will be timing off of them very quickly, very soon I should say, and that's really just BULSU buying so much time for themselves.
They have so much wave clear just from the
everyone.
Yeah, everyone except really for Ice, but everyone else has so much ability to really contest these waves, and Ice alone could be dangerous in terms of protecting these turrets, but he has to back off because Vaughn's right around the corner.
Yeah, UC, they're gonna have to engage at some point and kill one of these members from BULSU that does a lot of the work as far as wave clearing goes.
UC becoming increasingly dangerous here for BULSU because the gold
very
is
dangerous.
actually equal So in terms of a 5v5, as you said, UC will be in a complete lead.
Oh no, there's no teleport on Kissy.
Oh man, will Chris be able to get the engage that he needs? He has the flash, but he doesn't want to risk it.
Yeah, you definitely want to back off there. No teleport on your top laner. You don't want to go in a 4v5 situation, even though your comp is better for team fighting. And now, the next real objective on the map is an Ocean Drake, and this late into the game, it will just help UC, if they're able to secure this, get more stacks on a potential Elder Drake. But BULSU, they're setting up a Death Bush here. They've swept out Vision. Will UC face check?
That really is the big question. There are a lot of pings to not face check. However, that's really juicy. They want to establish Vision. Vaughn might actually be setting up on the wrong brush, on the wrong Death Brush. It seems like BULSU finds out it might not pay off. Instead goes for the Ocean Drake. Gives him a little bit of sustain.
Oh, UC, they're barreling down mid.
They are running down mid, trying to get that turret down.
We're going to see a fight very soon.
Very, very soon indeed. This will explode. That turret is falling so quickly. BULSU needs to defend this. That is an inhibitor, an important
We're going to see a fight now, Atlas. Let's
coming
go!
from behind. That will be the fight for BULSU. Look at it, Radiance, Cosmic Radiance, giving them the invulnerability here. But look at JP possibly falling down. This is where BULSU can fight. They are not split up. MP is running around the side, trying to DPS them down. However, that is going to be
Mega Gnar!
But now they're all in the same place. They could be in for a Mega Gnar. However, it goes through the gate where they don't get stunned. MP still dealing a lot of damage. Ice as well. JP around the back.
Look at that MP!
Franz actually goes into two people and kills himself. And what the heck was that? Positioning come from that Tristana. He was poised to dance around that. They were cornered between the members, but then Franz jumps into two people.
Kissy, have you overextended here?
Oh dear.
There's no flash on the Gnar.
No flash indeed, and the hop has been burned. Right there. It seems like Ice can still possibly go for something here. It has to
That's
flash
an ace!
over. That's an ace. They could possibly get 1 or 2 inhibitors from these 20-second death timers.
What a great team fight coming from BULSU. They stuck together, and with their superior positioning at their base, they were able to hold on for dear life. Now they will begin knocking down the structures of UC. How much can they take?
This is going to be a debilitating blow to the base of UC. And let's see how all of that played out.
The biggest difference in this team fight is how separated is UC compared to BULSU. BULSU, they stuck together. The core of their carries were well enough positioned to deal all of the DPS in these fights. And
they jump in.
Questionable decision, I should say. But man, BULSU, what a great team fight coming from them.
I think one of the big factors there also was the Gnar ultimate. He used his Gnar ultimate to the right side instead of to the upper right, because the gate does not get the stun on them, because since they're allied to that gate. If he had that Gnar ultimate to the top right, they would have been onto the wall, giving UC a better fighting chance there.
Yeah, these team fights, they're being decided by inches really, and given that UC has the stronger team fight comp, it's a real miracle that BULSU came out on top there.
It was because MP and Ice were able to stick together. They were able to get their DPS out without being divided, and that was just a huge like firing squad in one side of the fight instead of the divided part that really destroyed them in the Baron fight earlier.
Yeah, and you mentioned Baron, Alice. Baron is
just
up.
in time.
This will be a huge battleground for both teams.
Oh, they're starting
UC knows this.
Even under Vision, BULSU probably knows.
Here comes the teleport.
Vision, but look at
it's
how
going out so
quickly
fast.
They're doing it. This could go for a steal, but now there's actually kidnaps. But the tank will be oh man, they delivered the shockwave to themselves. This is BULSU's game. If they get this team fight, 2 members down for UC. Invincibility, trying to go for it. Jabs trying to run away, but he's so low. JP trying to harass him from behind, assassinate Ice, but he's just gonna fall
Oh my god,
down.
BULSU are doing it!
Ralph is actually trying to take down JP here, and Kissy falls between 3 members, and this is just UC falling apart from that Baron. BULSU goes forward onto the Nexus turrets.
This might be game 5. I don't think JP can defend this versus 5 members. BULSU, they've already knocked down 1 Nexus turret. Cue the Silver Scripts!
Oh man, that's gonna be 20 seconds, and this is still going to be game 5 for this series as BULSU beats UC in that Baron fight. Whew.
Yeah.
Wow.
Game 5. Let's go.
We're gonna get a game 5. And it's really funny how all of that happened was because Vaughn delivered the shockwave to his own team.
Yeah, he kind of did.
As the ball was on Chris.
It landed on the
Shockwave,
key member as well.
members
That was
indeed.
a very critical deciding factor. And also, throughout the game, BULSU defended very, very well versus
Definitely.
UC.
A lot of misplays here and there for both of these teams, but they were both fighting back hard, back and forth. But eventually, it was that big mistake where death timers are 40 seconds and Baron was at stake that really sealed the game for BULSU.
Yeah, and now we're heading on to Game 5.
Game 5, that's going to be quite interesting and exciting because that means this is a reset of momentum once again. This will be the final test for both of these teams in this series to really put out all they can.
And
of course,
LCL Championship on the
LCL
line.
Championship on the line, the chance to get the face-off against the other conference's best teams. It's going to be quite crucial. Of course, we were shoutcasters for that last previous game, rather. I am Atlas. With me was Chisto. We'll be seeing you for Game 5. That's going to be a very exciting game after a short break. Classic slingshot.
Oh, what
gets
a hit!
kidnapped into the turret. Vulnerable as well. And I think this is going to be MP going down. Ice can do nothing except watch. And look at that, Chris. 1v2. Loss of sustain, loss of tankiness. However, not enough to fight back against UC. And BULSU once again falters. It seems like this could be almost an ace.
That is
Try to go for the flank. Hex Splash, very, very cheeky, goes on to Chris, and it seems like Ice will want to run away. It seems like George and Chris will have to be left for dead, but slowed down by the boomerang. Ice can only do nothing but fight back, and actually does not take away frames against the Radiance.
Here comes the teleport.
Here comes the teleport from the top lane. Kissy, that's Shockwave.
Oh no,
actually
JP!
takes out JP, and they're all in a choke point where the rest of BULSU can deal their damage, and vulnerability is now over. However, Franz is dealing so much damage and jumping around. And it seems like Chris is alone on this side. 2 members down for BULSU, only one for UC. Now Chris will also go down.
That
Ice
should be the
trying to
Baron.
shoot over.
Now
That should
Atlas,
be the
go.
Baron behind. That will be the fight for BULSU. Look at it, Radiance, Cosmic Radiance, giving them the invulnerability here. But look at JP possibly falling down. This is where BULSU can fight. They are not split up. MP is running around the side, trying to DPS them down. However, that is going to be
Mega Gnar!
but now they're all in the same place. They could be in for a Mega Gnar. However, it goes through the gate where they don't get stunned. MP still dealing a lot of damage. Ice as well. JP around the back.
Look at that play!
Franz actually goes into 2 people and kills himself. This could go for a steal, but now there's actually kidnaps. But the tank will be
Franz!
Oh man, they delivered the
They
shockwave
got
to
the
themselves. This is BULSU's game. If they get this team fight, 2 members down for UC. Invincibility, trying to go for it. Jabs trying to run away, but he's so low. JP trying to harass him from behind, assassinate Ice, but he's just gonna
Oh
fall
my god,
down.
BULSU are doing it!
Ralph is actually trying to take down JP here, and Kissy falls between 3 members.
Kill the silver screen!
Oh man, that's gonna be 20 seconds, and this is still going to be Game 5 for this series as BULSU beats UC in that Baron fight. Whew.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not enough Garena shells to buy the latest League of Legends skin? On sale now? Get shells anytime, anywhere with your Globe or Touch mobile number. Go to gamer.com.ph and sign up with your mobile number and enter the verification code you will receive via SMS. Log in and choose the game and pin you want. Check out to purchase the pin with your load or through your postpaid account and receive the pin on your phone instantly. Never miss a sale on your favorite League of Legends skins and champions with Gamer.